of course, on the ephemeral level, and I use the word ephemeral conscious, the gains are quite there. After all, there is improvement. There is improvement in the school certificate results, school certificate examination results already. But honestly, that is a far cry from what we want. Our goal is to use education as a tool for remolding the future leaders. We call it commitment to create new person, new man, a man who will see himself as part of a whole, not a man for himself alone. That is the philosophy. A real Omoluabi, that we understand existence as a cause of societal growth and development. And we are so committed to this objective that we believe is the cardinal essence of governance. So besides the clear academic content of schooling, we equally have the Omoluabi platform, through which we want to get our people to imbibe the cultural essence of our community and society. So in the fullness of time, and I'm quite conscious of this particular statement. In the fullness of time, the children that are starting this program with us, who are in elementary 1 and 2 now, will be the full product, the complete product of our program. So we are talking of some 90 years to come, when the product of our new system will be out there at the high school level. Then you will see the beauty of our effort.
Still talking about education, the new education policy also entailed the merger and reclassification of schools in the state, a move which almost led to a breakdown of law and order. How did you contain this? And tell me, how do you continue to handle the politics of religious balancing?
Let's clear some things. So many of those things were blown out of proportion. How will you say the protest in 4 schools, out of close to 3,000 schools, were extraordinary? How? 4 schools out of over 3,000 schools, or close to 3,000 schools. I think it suited some interest to portray those things as earth-shaking. They weren't at all. That being said, there is no religious crisis here at all. Not in the least. After all, the schools had been taken over almost 40 years ago. 1975. What that meant, simply, is that since 75, there is no missionary influence in our public basic education facilities. None. The ownership, the curriculum.
They were just missionary schools in the
Excuse me. The curriculum, the remuneration of teachers, amount of teachers were all borne by government. So the difference between our style of school administration and management and what existed before was that we saw education at that level as a critical aspect of governance. Why must we leave the preparation of the leaders of the future unattended to? To us, it will be criminal. As a matter of fact, government will mean nothing if that does not appeal to it as a major responsibility.
Only last month, you sent an executive bill for the creation of 27 new local government areas. How is this bill expected to re-engineer the local government system in the state?
Local government administration is supposed to bring government closer to the people. That is, get the people more involved in the administration of their life, particularly on common services. And it is in that bid, it's in our effort to ensure that government gets closer to the people, particularly in areas in which they are jointly connected: road, market, water supply, security, education, and organization of life for comfort, freedom, and welfare. Those are the things that informed our effort at devolving administration to a smaller territory, which we want to call local government or local counties.
What lessons did you learn from the Lagos State experience, and what have been the initial reactions to this movement?
I'm a product of the Lagos experience. Simple. So when you're a product of an experience, it's not a question of lesson. It's that I'm living my experience in Lagos as on how to administer public interest. I got the best in public administration, materially, politically, economically, from Lagos.
Actually, my question is, I remember when Governor Tinubu was in office and he tried to introduce new local government development areas, local council development areas, just such as this. There was this fury from the federal government and everybody else. And the question I was asking you is, what lessons did you learn from that? How not to introduce LCDAs?
As to the acceptability of the creation of local government, of course, not only Lagosians, all Nigerians positively reacted to it. It garnered the best public support anybody could expect from any policy of government. I hope you know that as well. So, as to the interest it generated from the populace, of course, one would say that Nigerians want smaller local administration, without a doubt. As to the reaction from the center, of course, you understand why it happened. Without wanting to again revive old enmity, yes, I will simply tell you that I don't think it's an issue anymore. Why? Supreme Court gave a landmark judgment which simply gave the power to create local government to the state, but equally emphasized the need for the National Assembly to approve of it before it can be listed in the relevant schedule of the Constitution. So to the extent that local government created by the state with its own law are not expecting direct allocation from federation account, to that extent are states authorized to create such administrative centers. It's only when you want such creations to receive allocation from the center, that is federation account, that the approval of the National Assembly is required. So to that extent, we have no problem.
We must take a break now. Governor Aregbesola and I will be back in a short while.